Hello. Okay, let's just give a few minutes for others to join in. Welcome, welcome. Please let me know if you can hear me in the chat. Just let me know in the comment section. All right. Welcome, guys. Miracle, welcome. Andrew, say you don't land, Avi. Nice one. Welcome on board. Dylan, young Dylan, USDJPY sniper. You're welcome. Welcome, everybody. This week promises to be a very sweet week. Um, so I've been going through my chat since yesterday, prepping and just observing. Mondays are observation days for me. I observe the market very well. But sometimes, some Mondays, some good setups will drop and the strike. But I didn't get anything really nice yesterday, so I didn't bother myself. But today, I've got some really nice setups that I'm looking out for. And you guys know how our live classes usually goes. These setups, most times they come out to play out really nicely. So when we do our analysis, we just simply do what wait for price to, give us what we want. And then at the end of the day, we execute. At the end of the week, it is fire. All right. Good morning, everybody. Joining us now. Good morning to you too. Good morning from wherever you are joining us from. Please let me know where you guys joining us from. If you're in Port Harcourt City here with me, so let me know in the comment section. If you are in the far, far north, let us know as well. Let's just get to know ourselves a bit. We'll be going in real soon. Okay. Yeah, goodness, I sure know where you are joining us from. It has to be PH. Yeah, Port Harcourt people in the house. Samson from Benin Republic, Cotonou. Nice to have you. PH City all the way Abi. Everybody is PH, PH, PH. Okay. Like I said, yeah, I'm really hoping that this week is gonna be amazing. So we're gonna go straight to the chat. It's a live class, and on Sunday, our live class, we basically did not do anything about chat. I purposely did not talk about chat. We were all about psychology and mindset preparation for the week. Yeah, and I do hope that we took some of those things really seriously. For my students, I'll be dropping you guys a PDF today. Hopefully, it's going to be ready today. Something that you can be using on and on, right? So today we're going straight to the chat. Yeah, Golden Tulip, shout out PH City. Okay, so we're going to go straight to the dollar index. First of all, like I said, I already have an outline of pairs that I'm looking out for. Really interesting pairs and really interesting setups, yeah, that I'm really passionate. And I have this strong belief that okay, yeah, this week I'm going to make good money. Last week was really good. I can't even lie. Last week was blessed, yeah. This week is even going to be better. So, regardless of the confidence that we have, we always remember that we always have to prepare ourselves for the worst that can happen as well. That's why I had that specific class for us on Sunday. And also, risk management should always be in check, right? So, right now, we're going to go straight to the dollar index because that's where I like to do my startup analysis from. And the reason why I always start with the dollar index is because I trade a lot of USD pairs, right? USD correlating pairs, GBP USD, Euro USD, gold, USD JPY, pairs that have USD, and it's always good that you understand the volatility and the nature of the movement of the dollar. It also helps you to understand what those other pairs are going to be doing, right? So let's start with the dollar index. Pretty much straightforward. So please, I'm going to switch now to the dollar index, and I would like you to let me know in the comment section if you can see my chart, because we've had issues like this before where sharing screen, and at the end of the day you guys are not seeing it from your end. Oh, no, this is USD JPY. Let's go to the dollar index first of all. All right, so I'm on the dollar index right now. Please let me know in the comments if you can see it. And while you're joining us, please make sure you hit the like button. Oh, don't forget to like. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream that we're on currently. Please let me know. Okay, you guys can see my screen. We're on the dollar index. Very well, thank you. All right, so we start from here, and top-down analysis, the first thing you should always start with, right? So starting up on the top-down analysis, usually I start from the daily time frame, because I mean, today is Tuesday. I'm not going to go start from the weekly and all of those things. You don't have to go too far, especially when the trades are already running live, right? The chart is running live, and you must have done your analysis on Sunday before the market opens. So the weekly time base like this, we start from the daily time frame basically to get our structural movement, basically get our highs and lows of the days and the week, and also get the general picture of what the market is doing. So from here, we could tell that the market is still giving us, we're still very bearish, right? But overall, you can see that we're creating higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. But right now, we're in a very strong correction mode on the daily time frame, very strong correction phase rather. So let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we are still now we can see how bearish we are on the 4-hour time frame, right? Now, giving us this bearish move, we can see our break of structures. That's a structural breaks on the 4-hour time frame, which gives us a clean continuation that yes, we are still bearish. The market has not changed. So this was the last high the market created. All right, this was the last high the market created before this high right here, before we had this low. So that's going to be a very significant area, a very significant point. Please just walk with me here. I want to show you guys something. Now I have this break of structure, right? And this becomes my trading range. And as you guys know, whatever is playing inside this point is my correction, right? But we have to go further in looking at how we continue to the downside, because obviously the momentum excuse me, the momentum is still very strong to the downside. However, we can see that on a daily time frame, we are still in that correction phase and we're about to start changing to the bullish side, but no structure is giving us that momentum change yet, right? So we're still going to continue with our bearish buyers. So in continuing with the bearish buyers, this is where I'm going to mark my AOI first of all, from the origin of this move right here. So this is my area of interest currently, where I want to see price tap in for a continuation of the sell, right? And why I'm also using that position is because we are seeing this right here, which is very vivid to us. See the equal level that we've created here, we've maximized and what created some engineered liquidity around this area. So all we're waiting for now is basically to see price give us this. Where is this tool? Okay, this price to come down some more using this order block for the next push. We want to sweep out the liquidity here, mitigate this area of interest for a continuation. Simple. All right, so that's basically the analysis on the dollar index. So a more bearish dollar index is what I want to see. Now I'm not really interested in this sell right now, because still see the liquidity above here, which needs to be swept, and then price mitigating this order block. There's a sweep right here on a smaller time frame. I think we can see that on, let's say, yeah, not so clear here. Let me check the 1 hour. Okay, the sweep is more on the 1 hour. So yeah, there's something significant here. Obviously, we need price to come and sweep before moving to the downside, right? So that's simple on that. So if I have these buyers now, so my buyers for the dollar index is to sell to buy, okay, rather a buy to sell, right? So if I'm having a buy to sell, what do you think will come off my Euro USD and GBP USD? The same thing, but on the opposite side, right? It's going to be more of a sell to buy, right? So let's switch to and do a top-down analysis on that as well. Somebody saying he's not seeing. Is it just you or every other person is not seeing the screen as well? Because I'm on Euro USD right now. Please let me know if you guys are not seeing as well. Is it just one person? Please let me know in the comment section if you are not seeing. All right, so that means it should be from your end, yeah? It should be from your end. So just maybe exit the call and then enter again. All right, so let's start this from the 4-hour time frame. All right, so I'm on Euro USD right now. All right, so from the daily time frame, we have seen this massive impulsive move to the downside, market correcting to the upside, right? So basically, just like we saw on the dollar index, what we want to see is a completion of, let's switch back to the dollar. So basically, the dollar index, we want to see a completion of this whole move. Look at this from the daily time frame. We want to see this market complete right here. Maybe I forgot to add this. Maybe drop down to, you see this order block here, the origin of this move. Yeah, for us to have the complete retracement, right? Complete retracement. Now we're having something that looks like an accumulation here. Remember that stuff I taught you guys, right? Accumulation in a support area means that we want to see the manipulation to the downside before markets start moving up. So obviously we want to see price sweeping out all this liquidity, mitigating this order block for a buy continuation, a massive buy continuation, right? So having this point in mind, when you go back to the Euro USD, that is very similar to what is happening, right? So let me hide up all of this. Very, very similar. Now we've had this massive sell to the downside. This is the daily time frame here. We have a break of structure here. We have a break of structure to the downside, a BOS. I'm going to delete many of these things. It's distracting. Good. So now we have markets coming really close to the origin of this whole entire move, and you can see the pattern that the market is forming here. It's a rising wedge pattern. It's accumulating, but in form of what? A rising wedge. And we know how rising wedge usually occurs, right? So when you have a wedge pattern like this, what you be expected is a massive drop, right? A massive drop. Now, most people know that this drop is going to happen, but then again, we're probably going to see that liquidity sweep before this drop happens, right? So this is a daily time frame. We're obviously not going to take a trade from there, but dropping it down to the lower time frame, what we're going to be expecting is this. Now, you can see here from the 4-hour, we have this unmitigated order block sitting down right here. Yeah, sitting down right here. Above it or just below it is what? Liquidity, right? a form of engineered liquidity around this area right here. So just as we saw on the dollar index needs to what? Drop down, or rather go up before the sell starts. And the same, that is what we're saying, is that the opposite is what should happen on the Euro USD, right? So if the overall trend is bullish on the dollar index, the overall trend should be what? Bearish on the Euro USD. So this is the order block here. We're waiting for price to come snipe for the sell continuation, right? So all of this is the wedge pattern, the accumulation, and all of that. Basically waiting for price to come sweep up this high, mitigate this area for a massive drop. So if I'm going to be taking a trade from here, probably during New York session, as we might know, this is going to be a 40 pip stop loss. And if you're holding all the way down here, it's like 200 pips or so. All the way down here, we're talking 300 pips, because this is supposed to be a massive sell, right? So this is where I'm going to be taking my short position from, this area here. And I'm going to be dropping my stop loss just around here. Yeah, like a 40 pip stop loss. I'll drop the coordinates. Now, take profits are going to be in between, right? When you have a 1:2, 1:3, you might be taking profits from those areas. But strategically or logically, this is where my major exit point is going to be. Major exit point. And this is going to be why is this showing here? Hold on. Why is it showing? Okay. All right, very good. So this is going to be the setup here: 40 pips and a 200 pips take profit. So it's a nice 1:4, close to 1:5, right? 1 to 4.88. That is approximately 1:5 risk to reward ratio. So I'll drop the coordinates for the sell here. However, now this is the major sell, right, that we're waiting for. Now remember that in between this time we can still get small setups inside, but let me drop this overall setup for us first of all, before we talk about the ones we can find inside the setups. All right, so right here, the entry is going to be, entry is at 1.1749, and then the stop loss sell is going to be 1.1790. Yeah. TP. Now, like I said, yeah, with this TP, I'm going to give you guys the coordinate for this particular one, but you know that you can actually manage your trade properly. You can take profits once you get a 1:2, 1:3, depending on the structure you are seeing. Not everybody can hold down to this point. This is like a massive higher time frame trade. Yeah. So I just want you to understand that. 1.5, okay, 1.544. All right, so I'll also drop this in the Telegram, so in case you're not seeing the coordinate well, so you can have access to it. So let's drop down to the 1 hour time frame now. This is what we're seeing on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so this is why I say you can actually get even more entries on the lower time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, let me take this out, this pattern. You can see here from the 2 hour down to the 1 hour, we can have another buy entry, right, around this zone here. Why? Because market gave us something else. So we do know that, okay, we're expecting market to get to that higher time frame. That's a 4 hour time frame entry. But before market gets there, that means that we can catch some buy entries as well, all the way up there From the 3 hour down to the 4 hour, you can see this entry giving you a very sweet one here. So this is the 4 hour time frame. Please, I hope you guys are following up because we're going to get good entries in these areas here, good trades. Now, this is the 4 hour time frame. You see how market came to this. We already had a partial mitigation on this other block, but it is a weak mitigation, which means that the market can give us another mindful entry using this order block. The order block did what? Swept liquidity, criteria number one. This order block caused a break of structure right here, a BOS right here. So very valid, very much valid. And then we have an incomplete correction or retracement. Now, market is what? Inducing or giving us some nice liquidity around this area. So what we're going to be expecting is a pull to the downside for us to go up. Exactly what we're seeing on the dollar index on the smaller time frame, which is the same 4 hour, 1 hour time frame, right? Which is this on the dollar index, right? So I've switched to the dollar index now. This buy before we have this sell, right? If you're seeing this, then you know that on the USD JP Euro USD, which is like the direct opposite of the dollar index, we're expected to have this dip and market move to the upside. So this right here is another entry which is still in line with our major higher time frame entry, right? This is the most immediate entry we're going to have. Probably this could even happen today, New York session. And this is like a 25 pip, or let me say 23 or so pip stop loss, and then a nice take profit way above here. So if we bring this down to the 2 hour, let's start bringing it down, right? On the 3 hour time frame, you can even streamline this even smaller, like, you know, bring it down like this to refine your entry even more, refining your entry. On the 2 hour time frame, it's perfect. The same thing with what we're seeing on the 3 hours. On the 1 hour time frame, you can even refine more, but I don't want to do that, right? You can see that the 1 hour time frame, the order block is still a lot smaller, which is going to make our entry even smaller, right? A smaller entry. But this is the reason why I'm going to leave my entry above here. This is the reason why, because if you bring it down to the smaller time frame, like the 1 hour here, you're going to see that we have the presence of FVG right here, the fair value gap right here. This is the reason why sometimes when you enter a trade from a 4 hour time frame with using an order block, you're going to see price deep inside your order block. It is actually just going to fill some lower time frame FVGs before it moves away, right? So this is the FVG here. Let me change this color to red. Let me fill it up with red. Is the FVG here. So using the FVG rule, I've made the video already for you guys. I'm just yet to drop it. I'll be dropping the video maybe tonight or tomorrow. So this is the entry here, but this is Euro USD. I'll use my order block entry and keep my stop loss 25 pips, 20 pips is still okay because I'm having a good risk to reward here. If I'm going to be holding all the way to this TP point, this entry point, this is going to be like a 1:6. And if I'm going to be holding just to this point here, it's like a 1:5. So it's still very reasonable for me to hold my entry here just in case the market does not fill up the imbalance properly and then weeks out and move. So these are the two entries on Euro USD. This is the most immediate one. This is the most immediate entry I'll be waiting for. And then this right here is the overall entry that we're going to be waiting for. So two entries on Euro USD. So I'll drop this coordinate as well. I'm going to drop this as well. Let me just put it out there. Text here. This one is entry. Entry is at 1-1. Also entry is at 1.16187. SL 1.1579. TP is at let's leave TP at 1.72. 1.7292. Right. Okay, so these are the two setups. Like I said, I'm still going to drop them in the Telegram. All right, just after this class, I'll drop it in the Telegram so we can have a good look at it. All right, I think I'm done with Euro USD. So we're going to head on to gold. First things first, gold. All right, so are we all together on this? Are we looking at gold now? Please let me know. Do you have gold on your screen right now? How many of you are having very similar thing on Euro USD, or maybe you have a different bias entirely on Euro USD? Please let me know in the comment if you have a different bias on Euro USD. If you're looking at something entirely different, let me know. Let us see your own perspective. All right, so let's get to gold right now. David, you have something else entirely different? All right, let's head to gold now. So for gold, let's start from the 4-hour time frame. Why I'm starting from the 4-hour time frame is because we already did gold in our last class here, and that was where we were able to catch these two setups, right? This one we did, this particular buy, the first one, we did the analysis in the live class like this, and we were able to catch the trade. Then the second entry was just a signal I sent to my VIP students. Then I remember telling you guys that let's start from the daily time frame so that we'll have a clearer understanding. Just a reminder, you guys can see here that market is just reacting to this order block on the daily time frame. So all of this is more like a correctional move, not an impulsive move. If it was an impulsive move, we would have had a massive sell already. Yeah, so it's more like, the whole market is ranging. If you look at the whole chart, it's ranging, right? Waiting to bust out. So when you have a ranging market like this, market always tends to respect all the order blocks and the imbalances because the market is ranging. Until we have a bust out of that range, market will continue respecting those key areas, right? So if we're following that analogy, the key areas we're seeing here is this, right? So from the 4-hour time frame, now you can see the massive break of structure here, change of character, whatever. Then you see this wedge pattern, right? Remember I told you guys, when you see a wedge pattern like this, know that the market is about to fall. A rising wedge, market falls. Then this whole fall is still part of the correction of this entire move. Right here, the market swept liquidity, broke structure. So this origin to this high becomes our trading range. So if this is our trading range, the market has given us shallow retracement and violated it. The market has given us resistance turn support kind of entry, which is what we used here, but we used what we call the breaker block. Right now we are heading for what? A deep retracement. We're heading for a deep retracement. So all of this is part of the correction. So we're expecting price to come deeper into this level. Now, if you now face just this correction to look at it properly, let's go to the 2-hour time frame. You see that this correction has been giving us a series of lower highs and lower lows. So this is more like a downtrend now. Top-down analysis, we've seen the bigger picture. Now we're seeing the market trending to the downside, right? on a lower time frame. So it has been breaking structure. This was the last structure that was broken. Now this becomes our trading range from this high. No, we're going to be using this one because if you bring it down to 1 hour, we have a clean break of structure down here, very clean one. All right, on a 1 hour time frame. And you guys know that gold respects 1 hour structures very, very well. Like 1 hour structures are key when it comes to trading gold. So yeah, we have this break of structure right here, which gives us the continuation for this downtrend that we are on currently. So this becomes my trading range from this low to this high right here, my trading range. So whatever is happening inside this is a correction, right? A correction. So I'm looking at, okay, how do I join this sell for me to continue to the downside? However, this gave a very good buy setup. I believe some people are already buying. You can see right here, some people are already buying, and it's already in profit. If you bought from this low point right here, right? If you got an entry from here, you should be really good in profit already. However, I'm going to wait for the sell rather, which I believe in the New York session we're going to see. Yeah. Now, why am I more interested in the sell? Because the overall trend is down. That's the overall trend is down to to go close up that imbalance that we have on the 4 hour time frame. And you can see the move that we're having here. This is not much of an impulsive move. When you see candles choking together like this, gradually moving up, this just tells you this is a correction move. Corrections are usually choppy, slow, and all of that. That's why if you get an entry for this buy now, you'll be caught up in a web of the profit is just going to be going up and down, up and down, up and down. And gold, when gold is moving, it moves with speed. Like all these ones are basically correction moves, right? So this whole New York session and London session, maybe we might start seeing some actions from 11-12 pre-open, right? But for now, pure London session, we are seeing a choppy gold market, right? A choppy gold market, giving us a slow, steady correction to a specific area of interest where we're going to join the sell to continue from the New York session. So I'm probably going to be trading this live with my students in class today in the physical class, probably because this is going to be more active in the New York session today. Yeah. So let me show you guys the specific entry I'm looking to use, which is this zone that I marked here. You come down to 15-minute time frame, you can see it pretty clear. On the 15 minutes, you can see how pretty clear it is. So I'm marking out this as my liquidity point. I'm expecting that price will still come here, drop again, because this point is going to be slow. Now, market is reacting to this order block right here. So if you're buying safe here from this point, if you're buying from this area, I think you should have already taken TP from here, because this is a very sweet order block that you see how market is reacting to it a couple of times, 1, 2, 3, and it's still reacting, probably going up slowly, waiting for the New York rise to come in. So this can be another engineered liquidity point, but I'm looking at this point as market will react, sweep this liquidity, react to this high, maybe drop a little bit. So let me give you an explanation of what that means, a diagrammatical explanation, right? Expensive price go up like this, react again, maybe drop a little bit for this before we have a drop down like this. So I'm expecting a sell from this area, and that sell is going to be about 30 pips, which is pretty sweet and awesome to have a 30 pip entry. Now, the reason why I'm going to be using this sell is because most of these areas have already been closed out, mitigated, right? And there's nothing really left for price to come all the way up there. No imbalance left, except maybe you drop down to like 5 minutes and start skimming for those imbalance areas, which you can find one way above here, but I doubt if price is going to come there. So if I get taken out from here, no problem. I can refine an entry from that side, but this is going to be my primary entry point right here. So I'm going to have a sell set up like this, a short position from this range. It's just a 30 pip stop loss, which is very sweet. You have a 30 pip stop loss of gold is mind blowing, right? Mind blowing. Then TP all the way down here. We're not going to be too greedy to say we want to hold that all the way down to that, because you don't know if market is going to use this point to just continue going up, right? So it's a massive 1:6 risk to reward, which is pretty awesome, right? So this is going to be the coordinates for the sell setup on gold, right? The sell setup on gold. All right. So I think that's that on gold. Nothing more again. All right. So that's that on gold. Let me see. GBP JPY. Another pair I'm looking out for. GBP JPY. Now there's this buy, this nice buy set. Okay, so let's just do a top-down analysis on it, starting from the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, the daily and the 4-hour. Now the daily time frame, it is still pretty much bullish, very bullish, and we're seeing we have a clear break of structure. Market has broken out of this structure right here. So we still remain bullish from the daily time frame. Yeah. Now we've broken out. This order block was not respected. It's a daily time frame OB, but market blew past it, and you can see how it's already reacted. Right? You see this candle dropping back here, reacting to this order block as a reverse order block and pushing up. So obviously, this order block has already had one opposite side reaction. So we may break it coming down to give a clear correction, or market might just continue going from here. From here, we're seeing like a pennant pattern being formed, right? So let's drop it down to the 4-hour time frame. Now the 4-hour time frame, I'm still expecting, like from the higher time frame here, I'm still expecting us to have a correction down to the to give us a deep correction here for a buy continuation, because we've already had the break of structure. On the 4-hour, you can see clearly here, this is where the structural break actually happened on the 4-hour time frame. So if that is it, I'm expecting a deep retracement. Now, from this point, market is in a range right now, right? It's in a very sweet, clear range. And in this range, this is where people are actually getting their entries and sales and all of that. But I still feel the market is going to sell more, right? So this was the buy, the initial sweet buy that I think some people caught. I think I saw Dylan posted this one as well, this buy, but he missed the entry, yeah? So yeah, this entry was a very sweet one, actually, using our strategy, right? It was a very sweet one. There was this order block unmitigated. Market came, tapped on it, and pushed. However, this is what I'm expecting. This buy, if you're buying from here, your TP shouldn't be above. Your TP, you shouldn't be greedy enough to want to, hold this buy all the way up. Your TP should be around this area, this point here. Now, I'll be expecting that market is still going to go up here for a sell, because overall, I want to see that sell happen, that correction phase happen. So to join that correction phase, we have already seen that the market is ranging in a resistant area. And here you can see that this particular high did a sweep, right? It is not a very clean sweep as I would expect. I would have expected a more structural sweep, like a candle closing above all of this high before the drop. But sometimes it doesn't give us that, right? So if I'm taking this as my sweep, this as my liquidity point, and this is the order block, then this should be my area of interest. So bringing it down to even smaller time frames, you can see that here there's one candle here. That's why I have this place marked, right? A candle here, and I want to see market engineer more liquidity for me around here, which is already doing that right now, engineering some liquidity. But let me see a clear engineer liquidity. Then this buy should come up all the way to this point. Then we can have a sell down as the structure is telling us. Right? So I'll be expecting the sell from this area. I'm not going to put in a pending order here because I want to see the reaction of this place. This is a very tricky one. So I'm not going to put in a pending order straight up. I'm just going to leave this zone like this and then wait for the reaction and see the candle patterns that's going to be printed around the zone before I take an action on this particular pair. Right, so that is that on GBP JPY. Now there's another pair which is We're not going to talk about this now. I'll just drop the setup when that one comes. This is AUDCHF. So someone sent me this. I was looking at this yesterday. I didn't even know the market has gone this far. Yesterday, when I was looking at this pair, I think we were somewhere around the daily time frame. Okay, we're in this area here. Now, this daily time frame has started pushing down. So you can see the daily time frame move is bullish, right? Market is reacting to this order block right here. Overall trend is what? Very tricky one, right? It's massively selling. Then market created this long ass what they call this again, a range. Then we broke out of this range, but the breakout from this range is not a very clear breakout that you say it's a sweep. So it's giving us more like a break and retest kind of movement, right? However, market is reacting to this very sweet daily time frame order block. So we might have a continuation before price continues to drop to the downside. So this is my setup on AUDCHF basically. If you come down to the 4 hour time frame, you would see where we had a clear break of structure, very clear one right here, a structural break, right? So this is the structural break here. We've had many break of structures in between, but this is like the structure, the last higher high and the last higher low. So this is the new one, and this is the new trading range. And you can see here that market did not give us any tap on this particular origin, which is right here. We have some liquidity being engineered around this area, and market never came to it. Never did, right? Now, drop this down to 2 hour time frame. 2 hour time frame, you will now have a very clear picture of what I'm showing you. You see the order block sitting really nicely. You see the liquidity that was engineered and price never came back to it. And now we're dropping into that zone. So yes, this is going to be a very potential trade. It's a high probable trade. Market coming into this place, reacting to this area of interest as well, reacting to adding more liquidity to this, and then we tap in all the way to this point, which is where my TP is going to be. Why this point? Because this is the area that I have another nice candlestick sweep where I'm going to get my basic continuation to the downside. So this is what I'll be expecting on USDCHF. This is going to be like a pending order kind of trade because this is not much. The stop loss is not much. This is like a 15 pip stop loss and a 65 pip take profit. A nice 1:4.5. A nice one. 1 hour, you still have a very clear vision of it. Clear one, but I'll stick to the 2 hour time frame for my confirmation, right? AUDCHF. Right. So these are the setups that I have for us. I still have one on USDCHF, but that one I will just drop it when the price gets to it so that we don't waste a lot of time. It's already 9, it's already 10 a.m. I need to prepare for class, right? So if you have any pair you want me to look out for, you can just let me know. Or if you have similar stuffs that, you know, you are seeing something very similar to what I'm seeing here, that would be a good one. If you're seeing something opposite, do let me know. Share your your ideas as well. Or if you have any pair you want me to check quickly, we can do that as well. CAD CHF. All right, let's check out CAD CHF. I think it should be doing something very similar to this AUDCHF, CAD CHF. It seems like I have not done any analysis on this pair before, like a long time, because my chart is so clean on this particular pair. Can you guys see my screen? I'm on CAD CHF. It's so clean, like I don't think I've done anything on this pair, so I'm probably like looking at it for the first time in a long time. Okay, well, it's It's a sell. Sell now. Sell, 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 sell. Hold on. I'm just joking. Yeah. I'm just joking. Before you start hitting sell on your phone, just hold on. So this is a weekly time frame. We don't start jumping on the sell. But I just spotted something that made me say that obviously we're in a massively downtrend. Like this pair is just selling. It looks slow, but it's selling. It's just selling. So the basic thing in this kind of thing is just find a way to get in on a sell entry. Now, weekly time frame, we have broken structure. We have a sweep. If you have not seen that video I dropped on candlestick sweep, like sweep entry, right? Liquidity sweep, candlestick based entry, you need to go and watch that video. Now, according to that strategy, this is already a signal for a sell because you could see that the market is already on a downtrend. Yeah. And we had this movement, this like accumulation around here, week, 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 week. Then this candle bought. Then immediately this candle sold back into the structure. Then we had a 50% entry, correctional entry, and the market is dropping on the weekly time frame. So when I'm coming down to smaller time frame, my mind is just looking for where do I join this sell from? Where do I join this sell from? Right? That's basically what it's telling me. So let's drop down to the daily. I'm starting from weekly because I have not really done any analysis on this pair. I don't even know what is happening. So I just want to see the bigger picture on the weekly time frame. Now, yes, you can see what I was talking about earlier. Daily time frame is already selling massively. Yeah, you can see it's engulfing this guy already. We have tapped on this order block, reacted to it, pushed up. Now we're dropping down. Daily time frame is not a time frame to enter a trade except you're a swinger. If you're a swinger, I'll say the moment this candle engulfs and closes like this, just jump in. But this is CAD CHF is a very low volatile pair. You can see that even on the daily time frame, if you enter from here and put your stop loss just above, it's just 30 pips stop loss. This pair is really slow and has really low volatility. This is a pair that if you're a beginner or you don't want stress, yeah, just catch one entry and just leave it. This is what you need. A pair that when you are up, when you see one long candle and you check your phone, you think that you are in one massive profit or massive drawdown. When you check, it's just small money, very small money. Then this is the pair for that. So daily time, 4 hour time frame. Like I said, yeah, this is going to be very similar to um AUDCHF, which is already giving us that vibe now. So look at this move. You can see this candle, right? This candle swept liquidity, dropped, and then all the way, we have already had what we call what's this called again? A breaker block retest from here. You see this? The power of breaker block is a very powerful entry model, right? So market did not respect this order block. See, as it came back to that order block, tapped it and moved away, right? Now, in all, market is forming a very massive liquidity pool around this area, right? Now let's drop down to the 2 hour time frame and refine even more. Yes, better. Now we're beginning to see something sweet. Now on the 2 hour time frame, we're beginning to see this order block unmitigated here, right? With the presence of imbalance and the presence of this liquidity engineered, right? Very sweet. So I'll still drop down to the 1 hour time frame to stream. And yes, even better, the same thing. The 1 hour is giving us the same thing, right? Still this order block right here. And this whole move, remember the general move is down, right? Is for us to just get a good entry to join the sell. Now, above it, what can you also see? We're engineering liquidity around this area here. And above this liquidity is this structure you are seeing here. This structure. So this could be, it could simply play out to me like this. Tap it for the buy, then get this sell all the way down because we want to continue selling. So when I do something like this, I will still go back to higher time frames to confirm whether what I'm seeing is actually making sense. So yes, even on the 4 hour time frame, I have this order block here, right? I have this clean engineered liquidity here, and this is going to be a very nice buy area, sorry, sell zone, yeah, with all that we're seeing here. So this is going to be a very good sell zone. This is going to be a buy zone that will take us to this sell zone. So originally, this sell zone is going to be our general bias for what? Joining or continuing the trend to the downside. Yeah. So basically, you have two setups here. You have two setups. You have this nice looking buy and you have this nice looking sell zone. So, my friend, this is what we have here, and it's actually very interesting. Buy zone. Okay, so that's that on CAD JPY, pretty much. Oh yes, 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 yes. USD JPY. So we want to end the class on USD JPY. So let me just briefly jump into USD JPY. We're going to end the class on USD JPY. So this was the setup we had since last week on USD JPY, but I'm already out of this trade. Yeah, I'm already out of it. I was expecting my high TP was supposed to be at this point, but we didn't get there. So with the whole thing, I'm already out of this one. This is not a pair I want to hold. It's not a setup I want to hold for long. But then again, yes, just as we saw, I'm just going to go straight to what I have here, right? Generally, I'm expecting USD JPY to this was the time. This is the next zone I'm expecting price to get to. The next zone, because from the daily time frame, you can see here that market has given us a nice sweep, a nice drop. Yeah, this is the order block that is still unmitigated. This is all accumulated liquidity around here. So with this kind of accumulation, I want to see a manipulation to the upside and market drop. This manipulation will push price probably even to this high zone right here, because we still have a lot of imbalance above for market to cover before we start seeing the sell. So that is exactly the reason why I had this TP around here initially, right? So my play on this is just to wait for price to push way above, because it's going to be slowly going up, but it's definitely going to push up. This is one area to look out for, this zone right here. That's why I have this line here. We're engineering liquidity around here. And then again, on the bigger picture, this is another zone to look out for. This is a nice order block that the market did not respect. And that's the reason why I had that TP here initially. There's an order block here, so we're expecting price to come to use this as a breaker block for the sell continuation. So if you're patient enough to wait for the sell down here, that's fine. Or if you're patient enough, if you want to still join this buy, this could be another place or another area to join the buy. Let me show you right here. Let's drop down to 1 hour, and you can see what I'm talking about here on 1 hour clearly. On 1 hour, this is it. This is going to be another buy re-entry for us to push up here. See this zone? That is it right there. So I'm going to even take out this one that we have initially, because I'm already out of that trade. And this is going to be my next buy zone. Long position right here. And my take profit way above. Right? I have this internal breaker structure right here. Internal BOS. I have my area of interest. I have my liquidity and imbalance just around here. That's simple. USDJPY, pretty much. This is tough to hold on to and really, really follow up on. All right. Somebody say they will collected my $5 stuff. Ouch. So sorry. Oh, BTC. Okay, okay, okay. Let's look at BTC quickly. Let's look at BTC quickly. Let's see what is happening on BTC. Where is it? Say the way collected my $5 stuff. Okay, where is BTC now? Okay, here. Wait, is this the one? Is this week I'm seeing? Is it this week that collected your stop loss? Ah, crazy. Okay, let's see. So I'm guessing you had a buy setup on this, right? And the buy setup looks like it's playing out. Ah, yes. Oh God, this is nice. Okay, okay, okay. BTC looks very beautiful on the daily time frame. Okay, I think we have something here. I don't trade BTC, but this is interesting. This is something I worth looking at for me. There's a sweep right here. A sweep, right? A sweep happened, and see market falling back into the structure. Now, market is reacting to this small time frame, this small order block here, right? So yes, it's going to push up to probably come back, mitigate this order block for the nice drop. You see this point right here, market reacting to something. I don't know what. We're going to look at it on the lower time frame, but we have incomplete correction here. We have order block here. We have another one below. So I think we're going to see some massive drop on on BTC, right? But if before that drop comes, this is what is happening. The immediate one, which is this buy, this is where this buy reacted to. This is where this buy reacted to, and it's pushing up. So from the first, let me mark out this. Let me put a line here. I'll put a line here. Good. And that is the open of this order block that swept liquidity before the drop. Put a line there and then put a line on the 50% of that same move, right? Then let's go back to the 4 hours. Okay. All right. Now I'm seeing it. So on the 4 hour, this is it. Yeah. Now market is reacting to this low order block that we saw in the 4 hour and it's pushing up on the daily. Now, these two lines that I drew on the daily time frame, yeah, this is the first one, and this is the reason why markets will react on the first one. So I think I will use that first one, and this is the reason why, because of this breaker block, right? We have this order block here on 4 hour. Market blew past it. Now we touched the order block as a retracement with a wick. The body of the order block was not mitigated. Hence, we might have a proper mitigation on this order block. So if you see price doing this now, this whole buy can be very powerful. In fact, will be powerful. We have one area of interest here. We have the major one here before we think of a drop. So this is a very nice buy all the way to this point. So if you go back to the daily time frame and look, yes, you can see that the buy aligns with the open of the daily time frame order block that swept liquidity. So, and already we are seeing the rejections happening on this order block. So yes, that buy is very valid, bro. This buy looks very valid. All right, so let's drop down to 1 hour. Let me see what it looks like on the 1 hour time frame. If you had used this order block here, I don't think you should have been wiped out because this was the entry right here. This is the order block. This one was part of the liquidity. If you're using this, that's when maybe you would have been wiped out. But this right here is the order block. You can see this one is the liquidity. See how price came close to the order block and moved away, then eventually came back to tap into that order block, and now it's pushing up. So I don't know where you took your entry from, but this should have been your entry. This should have been your entry, and you wouldn't have been wiped out if you had used this one. Yeah. And then your TP1 should be here. Your next TP should be somewhere around here. You know what I just did was a higher time frame analysis. So following it up on lower time frame, this should be where your TP is. Then if market fails to hold around here, then you expect that price will go even higher to this point around here. Yeah. So if you're already on the buy, if you're not on the buy, this market has moved out for you. Not me. I don't join trades like this, especially when the TP is just around here. I'm not sure it's wise to join it here, although smaller time frame is already given an engulfing, all of that, which is telling you that the market will still buy. So that's it. Sorry for that. Just wait for the bigger time frame. All right. So we've passed our time. We're going to end the class here. So those pairs that I marked out, yeah, follow them, take them seriously. That was how we did it last week. We marked out some really nice areas, and some persons did not take advantage of it. I don't know why, and we enjoyed. Like we made, I personally made so much money last week from it, from those setups, and I hope that we can all make money from these setups this week by God's grace. Yeah, fingers crossed. Risk management in check, everything in check. We wait for the price to give us what we want. All right. Thank you so much. See you guys in our next class. Bye. Don't forget to hit the like before you get out of the stream. Yeah. Please hit the like for us. Bye, guys.